Hi guys, so this is Diff Crazy Tech, so I'm going to be filming another video today. Hope you're enjoying the daily content. And so today, I'm going to be talking about how did I get my Apple Sheep bias. Want to be notified every single time a new Diff Crazy Tech video comes out? Hit that notification bell and subscribe for more content. If you are subscribed to me, or just watch my videos occasionally, hopefully you're very aware that I love Apple. And some of you might be saying, how did you get to that point? So I'm going to explain that in this video. So first I'm going to give it. So in my past videos, I've like my Samsung Galaxy Note 9 video, the unpacked recap, and also the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 video, and why it will be a total flop. Although I kind of changed my mind about that. But anyway, so how did I get into such an Apple sheep mindset, and why am I such an Apple sheep? So the first thing I want to say is the Apple ecosystem. So I know this sounds like such a overused argument, which it might be, but so first of all, so I have the thing that started it all, and that I'm recording this video with, the iPhone. So that will work with something that I have on my wrist, my Apple Watch, and then it also works with another product that I own, called the iPad Mini. And so you might be saying, Jacob, get to the point. So that iPhone, whenever I get text messages, it'll go to this watch and it'll notify me, but then it won't notify me in my pocket. So I can have my phone not on me, and I can just, if someone texts me, calls me or anything, it'll go through this watch, and then I can answer it on this, or I can just pull out my phone. And it sounds really stupid, but it really isn't. It's actually really, really nice. And it'll go through my phone, and then whenever I want to make a new video, there's this thing called AirDrop. So I film the video and then edit it and do, like, add all the sound effects and stuff, and then I send it to my photo library, right? And then from there I send it to my Mac via iDrop, and in about 2 minutes, it doesn't matter if you're on the same Wi-Fi or if you're on Wi-Fi at all, as long as you're close to that device, you can send it. You can send stuff to other devices, and it's so much better than plugging it in and then redoing it that way, because it'll go instantly to the Mac and it'll go super fast. So that's the first reason, is the Apple ecosystem. The second reason is simplicity. So on my iPhone, they do have something called widgets, but I don't really use them, because that's the point of iOS. Everything is so simplistic, and you don't need to worry about things on your phone. Like, it won't go laggy, because they're trying to it won't shut down out of nowhere, and it won't shut down out of nowhere because they slow down your devices which, yeah, that's true, but they do that so it doesn't just shut down uh, when you don't want it to. So, like on my Mac, or on my phone, on my tablet, or on my watch, everything, it does not, when it wants to update, like when it's going to update to a new software, it doesn't just automatically update it for you. It asks you if you want it to update, and then if you click yes, then it will, obviously the update will go through and you'll have the newest software. But if you don't, that's fine. But people actually want to upgrade to the newest software because they actually change stuff, and it's actually noticeable. But it doesn't really matter on Android because since it's so customizable, you can just change it. So everything, like, since it's a customizable platform, it doesn't really matter when you get new features. It's not really not that noticeable, and it also takes forever for you to get that new feature on a new software update, unless you have the Google Pixel phones, of course. But anyway, so let's go to another reason. So another reason is their design of their products. So, for example, right, I took the case off my iPad, and look, it's very simplistic. It doesn't have, like, it's curved, and it's like pleasing to the eye, and then it's like chamfered and everything on the edges, and then it's glass and metal on the back, and then there's a little camera and an Apple logo. So it's not just because of the logo. It's not why they're such a big company. It's because everything that every one of their products is very pleasing to the eye. It doesn't look ugly, and everything that they make, it just looks nice and simplistic, and that's what Apple is about. So another thing, now that I go into simplicity, another thing that I really like about Apple and why I'm an Apple sheep is because of all the exclusives. So the first thing is iOS. So on iOS, it's exclusive to iPhones. It's not on any other platform, but Android is on thousands and thousands of different companies of phones. It's Windows. There's a Windows phone, an iPhone, and an Android phone. But when you're talking about an Android phone, you're talking about tons of phones. When you're talking about an iPhone, you're not, like, there's some options, but they're not, like, they now have enough iPhones that it's, like, for every single tier. So there's, like, the cheap iPhones, iPhone SE / like iPhone 7, and then there's the iPhone 8, and then there's the iPhone 10 at the most, like, premium and expensive. But so let's just get back to the point. So iOS is on it's exclusive. So the iMessages, that's an exclusive. And iMessage is becoming really nice now because it's starting, like, they're adding, like, games to it, and everyone's copying what they're doing because that was a smart idea, Apple. But yeah, so they've made iMessage way nice. And then, yeah, like I already said, AirDrop, all the exclusives that are on an iPhone. Another thing is just when you go into an Apple store, if you've ever been into an Apple store, you know that all the workers there are super nice, and they are willing to do whatever they can to sell you that product, which, yeah, that makes sense, because they are business, but they do whatever they can just to be nice to you, and they'll even let you try on like a ceramic Apple Watch if you want. They'll take it out of the casing. You have to ask, but they'll take it out of the casing and they'll let you try it on. And that's how I actually tried on like a stainless steel version of this Apple Watch when I was going to get it a couple years ago. But anyway, so then you can play with iPhones and stuff, and no one goes like to let's say a Samsung store. First of all, because there aren't any of them. They don't go in just like for fun. But if you notice, Apple stores are always filled with people. They always have people in there because they encourage you to stay there and play on their devices and see just how well they work and everything, and how fun. Everyone, like a lot of people, just go into an Apple store for fun because it's fun to play with the newest products. I just did this a week ago, and you probably saw that. That was the Station Park / biking vlog on Magic Steve's channel. But yeah, it's so much fun in their stores, and you don't really get that experience with other companies. And there are a lot of stores that they have, so they will. You can go into an Apple store and they'll always be nice to you. There's so much stuff to do and it's really fun. And there's also a lot of Apple stores, so you don't have to, as long as you're like in a slightly, like even like a small city, like we have one in Salt Lake and in Farmington by Lagoon and in Station Park. So that's where we go most of the time. But yeah, so another thing is they're not the first to things, but they are the best. So this has just been a video about why I am an Apple sheep, and reasons. But I haven't really gotten into how I became an Apple sheep. So let's dive into that subject. So at school, right? Basically my first phone, or actually, yeah, my first device was this, and it's still working. It might have been like $400, and this will forever hold a place in my heart because it still works, and I bought it with my own money. It cost $200, but this is going to be such something that I will remember having forever, because they're not really selling these on the Apple Store anymore. But right now it's disabled for 25 million minutes. But so why am I an Apple sheep and I haven't gone onto other platforms? So the first thing is Windows. I don't know if it's just my experience with like the really cheap computers at school, but they are so bad. They are slow, they are laggy, and they don't work with anything. And that's the same thing with Android. They're really fast at first, but then they go laggy about a year after. So this phone is about 6 months old. I've had it since November. But this is about, I think, 4 or 5 years old. It's really, really old. And it still works to this day. we even have a Mac that we bought, I think, in 2012. So about 6 years ago, that is still working to this day. I don't know if it's that old, but it's really old, and it's still working today, and it's working fine. But if you, because they optimize their devices well, but if you go onto like Android, Windows, you know, that stuff, you're not gonna get the same experience. No, you will not. They will lag out, and they will just stop working. But there are some computers that this certain YouTuber has, and they are from like the first Macs, and they still are working to this day. They still turn on. And there's also a video up on iJustine's channel where she unboxes the original Mac, and that was when it was all like plasticky and like filled with like tons of colors and stuff. But still, she still has that device, and it's still it still turns on. It's still out of charge after it's been sitting in a box for about like 10 years or more. That's what I find impressive about Apple. They do something to keep their devices working always. They just work, and that's why I haven't switched over to another platform. I have yet to find another phone that has as little problems as my device. But I won't lie to you. My phone has had some problems. So, the major problem was, I think there was an iOS glitch, and I would be watching a video, but then it would stop working. Like, I could push the buttons, but they wouldn't do anything. I could push the home button, but it wouldn't do anything. I could touch the screen, but it wouldn't respond. So then I would have to power off the phone, and then I would turn it back on, and then I would watch a video, and then it would do the same thing over and over again. And it got to a point where I couldn't use the phone all day. And that's the only problem that I've had with my iPhone. All my other devices that are like an actual official Apple product so far, I have had no issues with. But I don't think you'll be able to find that on other companies. And an example of that are my Beats products. Even though they are owned by Apple, technically they are owned by Apple, they still run as a different company. So they are crappy. I've had a crappy experience with Beats products. That I hate Beats. But this, that is why I have never switched over to any other platform, how I became an Apple sheep, and why I'm still an Apple sheep. So thank you for watching. Please give this video a comment and a share. Share with your friends. And if you enjoyed this video, please comment down below. And thank you for watching.